So today we are exploring Lake Forest, which is another city in Orange County that I think a lot of people overlook. What generally happens in this sort of type of city is you get people initially wanting to move to Irvine and then realizing that dollar per square foot and prices are just so expensive. So then they look to neighboring cities like Lake Forest, Mission Viejo, Laguna Niguel, Aliso Viejo. But Lake Forest, dollar per square foot, you get a lot more home for your money. Now, why do they call it Lake Forest? Well, there are two lakes, the main one being Sun and Sail Club, which is the biggest lake in Lake Forest. And the forest name comes from the 500 acres of eucalyptus trees that they planted in the early 1900s. And if you drive through almost anywhere in Lake Forest, you'll see these trees. Apart from the incorporated areas like Portola Hills and Foothill Ranch, which are the newer developments of Lake Forest, similar to like a Ladera Ranch when it comes to Mission Viejo, technically it's an incorporated part of Mission Viejo, and that is what Portola Hills and Foothill Ranch are like in Lake Forest. Now you do get new construction homes over there, and really the prices range a little bit more. Now for new construction you are paying a higher premium, but what I love about Lake Forest is there aren't really extreme luxury out of range prices. The most expensive homes you'll see are approaching $4 million, and even that is few and far between, and those homes will be directly on the lake. Most of the homes here are below the median of Orange County. You get a lot of entry-level, first-time homebuyer type of townhouses and single-family homes for around $1 million. You can also get condos, two-bedroom condos for just around $550,000, and in a lot of other cities in Orange County you don't really have access to that. The other great thing about Lake Forest is you get a lot of single-family developments with no HOA. So what has been going on in the market here? Well, the biggest change has been in the median sales price. Earlier at the beginning of summer, we were averaging around $1.3 million in Lake Forest, and that has dropped a pretty decent amount by $150,000. And now we are sitting at $1,150,000, and that isn't really showing in the days on market. You would think for such a large drop in the average home sold, the days on market would have doubled or tripled. But it was taking roughly 10 days for a house to get into escrow at the beginning of the year, and now that is only at 2 weeks, so still a pretty decent seller's market. Now this is a delayed statistic, so I wouldn't be surprised if that gets closer to 22 to 3 months from now. Now when it comes to pending sales, which is a good indication of buyer demand, that has gone down from 210 homes in escrow to 160. But if you look at percentage-wise, this is still outperforming a lot of Orange County. So that sort of makes sense why the days on market is still indicating a pretty hot seller's market. Active listings have increased pretty substantially. We've gone from 90 at the beginning of the year to now sitting at 150. And that is sort of in line with what has been going on in a lot of Southern California, where we've seen active listings increase while new listings have been declining over the last few months. So that means there are a lot more sellers interested in selling their home compared to buyers in the market right now. But in my opinion, first half of 2025, I think we'll continue to see active listings stay around where it is, maybe start to decline as more buyers step into the market. However, I do think we will see more sellers wanting to list their homes as well. So we're going to take a look at 3 different homes in Lake Forest today. One is going to be around $2 million, the other around $1.3, and then we're going to take a look at a townhouse for around $850,000. This will give everyone a great idea of the different type of homes you can get here. Typically, your townhouse is going to be for your first-time home buyers getting out of being a renter into home ownership, and then the 1.3 is going to be sort of that upsizing price range. And then as you approach 2 million, that's sort of what most people consider their last larger home before they consider downsizing. Now, this first house we're going to look at is the $1.96 million house, and it is a flip. So it was purchased only a few months ago for a little over $1,550,000, and now they're trying to sell it for almost $2 million. So I'm interested to see what updates they have done in order to think they can get this $400,000 premium compared to just a few months ago when they bought it. Now, what we're seeing right now is a trend of house flippers being a little overzealous, purchasing homes for higher than what they are worth, even though they are fixers at a time when the market has been slowing down pretty substantially. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of these flippers canceling the listing and relisting it 3 months from now in order to get into that market where we have more buyers. Otherwise, I think a lot of them are going to be in a position where they have to do a couple different price cuts, and pretty drastic price cuts, in order to get more attention on that house. Because when you have a home that is obviously purchased 3-4 months ago and is a flip, a lot of buyers are a little cautious into buying that house, because so you're sort of in that time frame where it's like, well, have they done permits for everything, or did they cut some corners just to get this thing on the market as soon as possible? So we just exited Lake Forest Drive, one of the main roads in the city of Lake Forest, and now we're approaching that first house for almost $2 million. This way you can get a good idea of what the neighborhood is like as we approach every single house, so you can decide if it's something that makes sense for you. There's a lot of green belts here, which I really like. My guess is that this house likely does have an HOA because it is very well maintained around this area. And yes, I just double checked, there is an HOA of around $108 a month. That is probably why everything is maintained beautifully in this neighborhood. You do have a park opposite this road as well, which is great. If you have kids, they can just walk across the street and hang out. So this is the house that is a flip. The home is a 4-bed, 2.5 bath, just over 2,500 square feet. And it does have a pretty big backyard, just over 10,000 square feet. Looks like the floors are luxury vinyl plank. This is the living room. Very high ceilings, which I do like. Dining area right here. Kitchen is completely updated. Looks like quartz countertops. Nice 6-burner stove. So they did do a pretty good job on this remodel, it looks like. All the windows are dual pane, which is nice. Little family room here with a fireplace. Now the home does have a downstairs full bathroom, which is a pretty big bonus if you have people staying over. They have their own little space, fully remodeled. Here's your downstairs bedroom. They have it set up as an office, but it does have a little closet. And you can go outside from here, which is pretty nice. I would definitely utilize this as an office, but with an option as a bedroom for anyone staying over. Let's take a look outside. Look at the size of this pool. Built-in barbecue here. Little outdated. I think you'd probably want to change this brick to something else. Looks like they didn't want to spend the money on that. But you do have a lot of usable outdoor space, which is nice. Great size pool. I could probably see someone wanting to rip this concrete out and put in grass to make it even more usable, but to each their own. This is a really nice backyard. That's what I love about Lake Forest with homes like this, is you do get a pretty big usable lot size. There isn't too much slope like you have in other areas, in other cities of Orange County, Sometimes you'll have like a 12,000 square foot lot, but then half of it is sloped and you can't do anything with it. But here, it's all usable. Let's go take a look upstairs, see the 3 other bedrooms. This is the primary. High ceilings in here. 1 closet. And then another closet right here. Little one. Oh, you have 2. So quite a lot of closet space. Dual sinks. Soaking tub. Unfortunately, you are on a secondary road outside your bathroom, but it's not a main road, so it's not a huge deal. Pretty good sized primary bedroom in my opinion. And this is the other full bathroom. Just a regular tub. One of the guest rooms. Nothing special, just a standard size room. And this one's a little bit bigger, but a good amount of space overall. I think as far as the flip goes, they did a good job in my opinion. So that was what 2,500 square feet completely remodeled looks like for a little under $2 million. The next house we're going to look at is actually the exact same size, just about 10 square feet smaller, but it has 1 less bedroom and the lot size is significantly smaller. So the last lot size there was a little over 10,000 square feet. This next one has just over 4,200 square feet. So you'll see a completely different type of house as far as backyard space goes. Now, I do believe this home will be less updated as it is listed for just under $1.3 million. Now, another difference with the one we're about to look at right now is it is around 7 to 8 years older than the previous one. This one was built in 1978 and the last one was built around 1985. However, this house is not part of an HOA. So for some people that's a perk, and for other people it may not be. So one of the main differences, at least for an HOA where you don't have a ton of amenities, is the requirement for upkeep with neighboring houses. So the HOAs will hold the house to a certain standard. Compared to neighborhoods that do not have an HOA, you run the risk of neighbors letting their house run down, not doing any updates to it over time, and that could actually devalue your home as well. If your neighbor's house is left to be a complete dump, your house will be devalued, whether you like it or not. So that's one of the perks of having an HOA, but some people just don't want any of the rules and regulations that they need to follow, so they opt for a community like this one that has no HOA. Houses in here all seem like they are looked after beautifully, so for this neighborhood, looks like there's nothing to worry about, really. But we're approaching this other one for $1.3 million. Let's go take a look. Now right away, I can tell there is a lot less noise at this house because it doesn't back to a busy street. But you can see this one also has high ceilings. Unfortunately, it still has tile. I would imagine new owners would probably want to rip that out, as well as opening the front door right into stairs. A lot of buyers will avoid that. It is not ideal in some cultures. These arches are pretty interesting. I haven't seen that for a while. Some homes from the 70s will have this. It's sort of like Spanish style a little bit. The windows are all dual pane, so that's ideal. You have your living room here, and then this is a little dining area. This is your family room, across from the kitchen, which is pretty updated. You have quartz countertops, dual ovens, electric hob. Some people like it, some people don't. This looks like it's original here. Dual pane, sliding doors, fireplace, a mini wet bar, which is kind of nice, not typical in a house this size. That's your 2-car garage. You have a little half bathroom here next to your laundry room. A little cramped, but it's nice to have a separate laundry room rather than being in the garage. Let's take a look at the backyard. This will be a huge difference. So this is a 4,300 square foot backyard compared to a 10,000 square foot backyard. And for a lot of people, this is enough. This is more typical in cities like Irvine and Aliso Viejo, where you don't have much of a lot. So for a lot of people, this is perfect. And if you don't need a pool, you could easily have a built-in barbecue out here. So for most people, it would be plenty of room. Let's go take a look at the bedrooms upstairs. I like that the home is on a cul-de-sac. Very quiet street. And by the way, the flooring up here is hardwood. It is older, but it is real hardwood. So this is a nice office space. Overlooks the living room. You have a little window as well. I wouldn't use this as a bedroom. Primary bedroom. Wow, look at the size of this tub. That is a lot bigger. Standing shower as well. This is not a built-in sink. Just looks like it was just purchased from Home Depot or something like that and just added. Fireplace in the primary bedroom. This is a pretty nice feature, but I think one of the downsides here is there's no walk-in closet. You have, it looks like there used to be a closet here, but they opened it up. And then this additional shelf space, which was installed for a closet. You have a step down in the primary. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm not sure what you would use this space for right here. I feel like you'd maybe have a couple chairs next to the fireplace, but I don't know if that space would be used. But overall, a pretty good sized primary. Take a look at the guest bathroom. Okay, the sink is updated, quartz. This is a somewhat outdated shower, but pretty standard for a guest bathroom for a home built around this time. Guest rooms, very similar to the other house. Similar sizing. And the other guest room here. All right, so two completely different homes, completely different prices, but similar square footage. On to the next. The next house we're going to see is a townhome. Now this does have an HOA of around $500 a month, so a little on the higher end, but that isn't very abnormal for townhomes and condos in Orange County. Now it will cover all exterior maintenance, so you don't really have to worry about your roof, any exterior termite damage or stucco repair that might have to be done. And this home is a 3-bed, 2-bath, just over 1,500 square feet, listed for $830,000. So completely different price point. This would be ideal for first-time home buyers that want to move to Orange County, because you get a pretty decent sized home for significantly less than $1 million. And with the market being the way it is right now, I wouldn't be surprised if all of these homes we're seeing today are still available 2 to 3 months from now, unless they've done significant price drops. So as it is a townhouse, it does share a couple different walls. Main difference between condo and townhome is a townhouse you enter in from the downstairs floor always, whereas a condo you can enter from the top floor. But sometimes a condo you can also enter from the down floor. So it's a little confusing. So pretty big living room. You do have vinyl flooring here, dual pane sliding doors, fireplace, pretty high ceilings. Looks like something's going on up there. Take a look at the kitchen. Newer tile countertops. I think I would probably repaint this to white, make it match this here. A little dining nook. And what's nice about this townhouse is you do actually have a little outdoor area. Wow, that is a huge AC unit for a home this size. So this is kind of nice. Back to a little green area, somewhat private. Enough to barbecue out here. Take a look back inside again. What I've noticed about this neighborhood just in the few minutes I've been here is that there's a lot of people walking their dogs. Seems like a very active community, which is nice. Oftentimes, especially around this time, you won't see anyone. Okay, so they are enclosing this to make it an additional bedroom, it looks like. Interesting. Seem to be doing some work on it. So this is the primary room. Just a normal standing shower, one sink. Pretty decent sized closet for a home this size. Take a look at this. Dual pane windows, so you won't really hear much road noise out there, which is nice. Both main bedrooms have its own bathroom, which is a good bonus. Oftentimes, you'll have two bedrooms sharing one and not having a secondary attached, but this is good for people to have their own privacy. So it looks like this is initially a two bedroom, but they are turning this into a third bedroom. My guess is that previously this was just a den. They just used it for games or a movie room or TV room or something like that. But yeah, so technically not a three bedroom, but it's going to be a three bedroom. So that is it for Lake Forest. If you like this content, subscribe for more. I'll be uploading more city-specific content focused around Orange County. But today we saw three completely different homes at different price points, focused on different types of buyers. If you have any questions about Lake Forest or any city in Orange County, let me know in the comments. If you're looking to buy or sell and you're in need of a real estate agent, give me a call, or you can check out my website for some free information. I'd be happy to help, and I'll see you in my next video.